Hello, my name is Ralph Panu, and this is my final project. For our final project, we had to create a web API using Spring Boot that implements JPA RESTful operations and as well as CRUD operations on a MySQL database. So for the database that I chose, I used um, flight information or flight database, flight tracker. And that database keeps track of airlines, flights, and passengers. Um, so we'll go so I can show you the entities here. So we've got our airline entity. So these are the fields in the entity, and the airline entity has a one-to-many relationship with flight. So an airline can charter many flights. Then here we have our flight entity. Here are the flight entity fields. And then these are the relationships. So the flight entity has a many-to-many relationship with passengers. So essentially a flight could have many passengers and the passenger can book as many flights as they want. And the flight entity obviously has a many-to-one relationship with the airline. Then for the passenger entity here, these are the fields here, as you can see, and then the relationship between flight is many to many, as I stated before. And then for my CRUD operations, so the first one here is creating a flight using the airline code, and then uh, we're going to create an airline as well, creating a passenger to a certain flight. An operation also is to get all the flights. So all the flights that are located in the flight database, then being able to get a certain flight based on the flight number, deleting or updating the flight based on the flight number, and then lastly, being able to delete a flight based on the flight number, deleting an airline based on the airline code, and then deleting a passenger based off the passenger ID. So I'll go ahead and run this, and then we'll test some of these endpoints. Okay, so it looks like we're connected to our database. Clear this. So I'll go ahead and post a new airline. So the airline name is Southwest Airlines, and then the fields include phone number, website, and the country of the airline. So as you can see here, it was successful. So Southwest Airlines was successfully posted. I'm gonna go ahead and add another one here. Let's go ahead and do Delta Airlines. Copy this. Paste that. Okay, so that was also successful. So now let's go ahead and create a flight. So we're gonna post here, include our values here. And then for the body, So the content here is going to be the departure date, departure time, arrival date, and arrival time. And then so airline code, we'll do 12 and flight. Go ahead and post. Okay, so it says airline code 12 not found. Let's do 13. Okay, so that one was found. So it was successfully posted here. So the flight number is 10. Okay, and then let's post another flight 14 for airline 14. All right, and that also was successful. So, okay, and then we're gonna go ahead and create a passenger. So I'm gonna use this old post here. So here are the passenger fields. So first name, last name, email, and seat number. So I'm gonna go ahead and post this to flight 10. Okay, that was successful. And then I'm going to post one for flight 11. We're just gonna change the data here. And that was successfully posted. So now we can, let's go ahead and retrieve all the flights currently. So this is our get operation. Okay. So as we can see here, there's flight number 10, departure, arrival, the airline code, passenger associated with that flight. Same thing with flight 11. So yeah, and then I'm missing an operation. So this is just to get a particular flight based on the flight number. So let's do flight number 10. Okay, so this pulls the data from flight number 10 specifically. So we can see here, it's got the flight information, departure time, departure date, arrival time, the airline code, and the passenger associated with that flight. Okay. So now we can do some of our delete operations here. So let's go over here and see. Okay. So we'll delete airline number 13. So deletion of the airline with the airline code number 13 was successful. So that went through. And then let's delete flight number 10. Flight number 10 is not found. Okay, so it was flight number 11, and deletion of flight number 11 was successful. So we will go ahead and move on to passenger. And just to double check here. So we'll go ahead and delete passenger 9. And I forgot to mention about how we're handling the error, like just in case, like for example, let's say I put in, I don't know, passenger with a passenger ID that doesn't exist. So let's say passenger 100 here. I try to send the request. So it's an error because passenger with ID 100 does not exist, so it's not found. So you'll get an error message back. So we'll go ahead and do passenger 9. And as you can see here, the deletion of passenger with the passenger ID 9 was successful. Okay. All right, so those were all my CRUD operations, and that's my final project, and I'm gonna go ahead and sign out. Thank you very much.